Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. It's Harry from Hasper TV, and I'm back with another video. This time is a match reaction to Spurs lost away to Brighton, a game that I did kind of preview in the previous video before this, discussing how it would be a tough game, but I couldn't have envisaged how tough it would be. This is not discrediting Brighton in the slightest, but that performance from Spurs was just abysmal. Spurs didn't start playing till like 20 minutes from the end, if I'm being honest, and we were really poor. I mean, it didn't help that the back line included Emerson and Davies, which further showed that we need to go out and sign a centre half on New Year's Day. And I'm talking about quality centre half, not like a stopgap, right? Because we love doing those. But yeah, so Spurs started really poor, no possession. It didn't seem like we were creating anything. I mean, the players would get into the box and not shoot, which is again very strange considering I praised us earlier in the season for actually changing that mantle when actually taking shots on. And obviously Brighton took the lead, then they scored again. And then there was a penalty, of course, which Kulusevski, to be honest with you, I don't know what he was thinking putting his shirt, especially with VAR. But there does seem to be an indiscipline in the squad, let's be honest at this point. He again will miss after that booking Bournemouth. And then, of course, they scored another one after half-time, 2-0 down. And another one, make it 4-0, another penalty, which again was a penalty. Let's not dispute that. But Spurs fought back with about 20 minutes-ish to go. Spurs started playing. Ange went 4-4-2 and finally threw out his 4-3-3 and chucked on Vélez, who did score. And credit to him, it was on his debut. So it's good for him to get a goal finally in the Premier League. Not his debut, sorry. Just finally his first goal. And I thought Son was poor. I thought the backline was poor. Højbjerg, despite my praises for him early in the season, wasn't great. So I felt like he looked laggy and tired, which is not surprising considering he's a young player and he's played so much football, but he's so integral to the way this team works. Kulusevski, I thought, had a poor game. Again, I brought back the shirt pull, but I thought he played poor anyway. And then the front line just wasn't clicking. Richarlison had, I think, 3 shots today. One was unlucky, hit the post. I think it was in the first, second half anyway. And then he hit another 2, which were a bit unlucky. But yeah, he didn't have his scoring boots on today, and he was taken off later on for Vélez. Spurs did get 2 goals back and could have even got a third. I mean, some people may argue Spurs could have drawn 4-4, but the biggest issue for me is Spurs were 4-0 down with no fight. And I think it just shows, again, the lack of squad depth. Once Romero and Van der Ven are out, you've got 2 fullbacks playing at centre-back because he's not going to play Dyer anymore. He's not going to work in his high line, so I guess he kind of thinks Emerson has got a bit more pace and can do it. But Emerson was just abysmal again at centre-back. Davies, despite his praises and what many would tell you, I thought he was poor. Adogi, he did all right. Porro, he did all right, even though there was an instance when he almost assisted Brighton to score. And a lot of people, like I said, point to our injuries, but Brighton were missing Mitoma, Lamptey, and a few others. But for us, the main injury is, of course, centre halves and Maddison. And that just destabilises the whole team. The front line still hasn't got, an exact. I just want to bring up another thing. Johnson, who I was quite lenient on quite early in the season. I'm going to get quite annoyed at the way he's playing. Just not clinical enough. He's missed a lot of chances. He had a chance, I think, in the first half where he just hit against the defender because he's delayed it so long. And again, I think in January, which is only, by the way, like 4 days away, we need to be looking at a centre-half, an attacker. I'm thinking more of a winger type that can play across the front. I think that's more achievable, and I think it's something that we need more because Richarlison can kind of do a job up there. So I think a winger is a paramount importance. And then you've got, obviously, centre-half. If Højbjerg really is leaving, you need to bring someone else in. That's 3 players. But I do think without Adogi, we will struggle on the left. Emerson played their last game. Of course, he was moved in the centre today. But I would sign a left back as well. I know a lot of people were saying 2 centre halves and an attacking player. Obviously, if Højbjerg departs, you're going to have to bring someone else in. And Conor Gallagher's the name we mentioned around. But I think a left back is paramount too. Not many people tell you that, but I do think we need someone there. Obviously, I've stated Emerson all this time, but at least he can somehow do some sort of job till the summer on the right if Porro is missing. But Porro is the most long-standing player in the defence. I don't think he's missed a game this season. Someone correct if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, I mean, it was a poor result. Bournemouth at home next have to win that game. It won't be easy again. They went to Old Trafford and they won 3-0. And seeing how disjointed we look today, and the tiredness, I mean, Ange mentioned tiredness, and you said there's no one you should excuse. Well, the players really shouldn't be tired because we're only playing one competition this season. We got knocked out the cup playing a second string side. So I think the players shouldn't be tired. But when you're playing that intensity over a longer period of time, and we are actually halfway through the season now, it's going to catch up on you. And maybe Ange in the future will have to adjust his style. Whether he's stubborn enough not to change it or not, I don't know. But yeah, just something has to change. And Son is going obviously to AFCON. Sorry, not AFCON, to Asia Cup. And then Sar's going AFCON. Basuma's going AFCON. We're going to massively miss Sar. So it comes a dilemma in that midfield whether to let Højbjerg go or not. And as they have a replacement lined up, they shouldn't really, even though he didn't have a great game today. I mean, Skip might return against Bournemouth, who knows? Because apparently it was just a knock. It is an injury, but I think I read it's just a knock, so he might be all right. It might just be precautionary. But yeah, so yeah, we'll see. It was a bad loss. I know Arsenal lost tonight, but it doesn't really bring any comfort to me at all. And we go on, I guess, again, then come on, you Spurs.